Hey, welcome. Today we have in the spotlight Gerald Lyles. You are the Senior Vice President of Lyles Diversified. So, Jerry, tell us a little bit about Lyles Diversified.
Oh, Lyles Diversified is now a company that's from 1945 to current, uh, 75 years been in existence. Started out as a small pipeline construction company. My parents started it on the kitchen table in our home with borrowed money. As I recall, it was about $13,000 in borrowed money. And so we've come a long ways in 75 years to a company now employs over 800 people and stretches from uh, Sacramento and its work all the way to almost to San Diego. Um, it's it's a quite a tribute to my parents who came out of the Depression and didn't have any money and borrowed money from their parents and all to do this. So we're eternally grateful to them. As
Yeah.
far as the company itself is now called Lyles Diversified. The original company was named after my father. It was called W.M. Lyles Company, and one of our subsidiaries still is called that. And it was a company that installed pipe and telephone cables, water, sewer, gas, electric, telephone, all in the ground. And we have diversified into that today. We're the largest builder of sewage treatment plants in the state of California.
And you do a little bit of agriculture, real estate development.
Well, that's part of the diversified part. We are in agriculture. We have about 4,000 acres of orchards. We do development, property development. We own apartments from Seattle to Los Angeles and operate in that venue. And we've also been in manufacturing and up to about 12 years ago when we owned Pelco, and before that, Buckner.
Wonderful. So you're a large employer here in the Valley and around the state. And so thank you. So how did you get started with Rotary?
Well, John Landsberger was my sponsor. We had many, well, let me back up and say, my father was very interested in Rotary, and he encouraged the members of his organization to join Rotary. Um, he had a book called Service is My Business. It was for Rotary, and he insisted all his managers read that book and carry out their jobs in accordance with the principles of service is my business. And but he went from that. So I really grew up in Rotary. When you come right down to it, as a little kid, I went to the Christmas parties of Rotary when I was 5 and 6 years old. He was president of the Avenel Club. He went on to become the district governor of the local district that Avenel and Fresno and all were involved in. I had an uncle who was president of his club in Visalia, and he became a district governor, I think a different district at that time. So Rotary's been part of my life, period. I've been to the International Convention in Lucerne, Switzerland in 1957. It was a great experience for a kid. So we've had many, many different members, as I said, with my father encouraging it. All the branches of our company had Rotarians.
Yeah, you've been in the club over, what, 47 years, and you've served, so the four-way test is in your blood. You've been club treasurer, you've worked on the vocational service director, life member, you've been RI major donor. Yeah, you've served in so many ways, so thank you.
I was also on the foundation committee, the member.
Yeah, I think you served like 3 years or more on the foundation board too. And you know, we miss on Mondays you rolling up your sleeve and handing out lunch tickets and being right there in the greeting line too. So thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Part of that. So, and I know there's a couple things that are near and dear to your heart. Locally, the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, the Boy Scouts, you know, a lot of Rotary projects that have been some of your favorites.
Right. I've been on a lot of different committees over the years, Red Cross Disaster Committee. But yes, my main passions, if you will, have been things that involve some activity that was good and wholesome for family. The zoo, I considered that. How many people ever come out of the going to the zoo and aren't happy as a family? Unless the kids didn't get to buy something at the checkout stand. The Boy Scouts, again, the same kind of activity. I've been involved with church camps. Just many different organizations. I've left some of those gradually behind after 20 years of being on this board or president or something. And my current activity I got involved with is the California Health Science University, where I'm on the board of trustees there. And that's just a great thing for Fresno. We're going to have doctors and pharmacists coming out of there who don't have to be hired from the outside area to bring into Fresno. The first class of the California Health Science University College of Medicine is enrolled right now. We're limited to the number we can have the way they allow startups, but we have 80 students that will become doctors in 4 years. And next year we'll add over 120 more. And when the school is fully enrolled, we'll be turning out 600 doctors. 150 a year with a 600 student enrollment. And most of those, because they will have done their residencies here in Fresno and all, a lot of them will stay here, and we won't have to be searching outside the area for medical. So that's great to me, and that's a wonderful thing. And frankly, the people that made it possible are the SMEs, who were originally we think of as Granville, but they're a lot more than Granville.
Well, that's wonderful to look forward to. And here in the Valley, having the great, the medical assistance that people need and the healthcare. So, well, thank you so much. It was great to talk with you, and look forward to talking to you again.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about what don't we know about Jerry Lyles?
Well, things you may not have known about me. One, my interest in science fiction and space, not fantasy stuff, but things that can come out and happen in the future. In fact, as a child, I read the comics, as many of us did, and it's amazing. Practically everything that was ever in science fiction that I ever read has come about in actual reality, the travel and all, except for one thing, and that's the Beam Me Up, Scotty. That hadn't happened yet. But yes. I attended the Advanced Space Academy for adults for 1 week in 2001. What a wonderful experience to go through astronaut training for 1 week and see the kind of things they did. Suffice it to say, and it was just a great experience. I was on a tumbling team in school, and while there, I held the record for the longest distance that a person could walking on their hands. In other words, walking upside down on your hands.
Awesome.
Kind of an unusual record to hold, but I did. And I also held the record for the most chin-ups, and that's for many, many years, about 50. So those are a couple of things maybe people didn't have any idea about Jerry Lyles.
Excellent. Good. Well, great. Well, there's so much more I want to learn too. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.